Get a deal, but I'm ballin'. I came from nothing to something like it's nothing. Yeah, you know I done it. That is no discussion, bitch. I'm ballin'. I made a promise to my mama.
What's going on, guys? My name is Fogman334 and welcome to Fake News Media episode 3. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about drama that's been happening on YouTube lately. And I'm going to try to make this as true as possible, even though this is Fake News Media. But first, this is a special edition because I have a special guest with me today in today's episode. Please welcome the one, the only, the Blazix. What's going on, Blaze?
Nothing much. What about you?
Nothing much. Alright, enough chit-chat. Let's get straight into the YouTube news that's been going on. Our first story comes from the big YouTuber known as KSI, who just left Sidemen a couple days ago. Now, if you don't know who Sidemen is a very well-known group of guys on YouTube, and one of their main members was KSI. Now, a lot of people have been saying that KSI hasn't been making videos lately, so people were wondering, what was he going to be doing with Sidemen? Well, apparently a couple days ago, he actually said on Twitter that he, and I quote, is going to be moving on to bigger things. Now, a lot of people have been saying, what are these bigger things? Well, this is going to lead to our next topic, but first, I want to get some input from you, Blaze. So what do you think about KSI leaving Sidemen?
Well, I think it was probably hard for everyone in this Sidemen group because he's been in there for a while now. Like, I mean, a long time. And KSI he was thinking about it for a while. That's probably the solid time he wasn't making YouTube videos, is because he's probably thinking about, like, what he's gonna do next once he leaves Sidemen, like, where he's gonna go, and basically whatever he's gonna do. Well, like Fogma said, what he's going to do is leading up to our next topic.
That's right. And our next topic is going to be KSI has now moved in with Ricegum and FaZe Banks. Now, the reason they went to join Ricegum and FaZe Banks is anyone's guess, but a lot of people have been saying that this might lead into a YouTube Civil War against Ricegum, FaZe Banks, and KSI against none other than Jake Paul, Team 10, Logan Paul, and Tanner Fox, and maybe KSI Neistat. Now, obviously, as this goes on, more people are going to be trying to get in, more bigger YouTubers onto this, and yeah, no one knows how this Civil War is going to turn out. No one knows who's going to be firing what, but most of this has been inspired by the thing that's been happening a long time ago, probably about last year. So let me give you a little bit of insight of what's been happening to start this up. So, what's going on is KSI was going to try to make a diss track on a big YouTuber, none other than PewDiePie. And from what we've seen, KSI might have been dropping a diss track. And so later that year, PewDiePie was trying to hit up Jake Paul, because apparently, for some reason, he was trying to run away from KSI. Well, apparently, as you all know, PewDiePie made a video saying he's joining Team 10. Now, we probably think this is clickbait, but from what Jake Paul said in his video, it makes it sound like as if it's very convincing about them two actually joining forces against KSI. Now, with KSI moving in with Ricegum and FaZe Banks, you can probably tell that this might turn into an upscale Civil War. And for some reason, Logan Paul is now, I guess, moving in with Jake Paul, unless that is fake, which I wouldn't be surprised at that. And now Tanner Fox is joining in, since he made a diss track on Ricegum and Ricegum fired back. So you can see Tanner Fox going with Team 10. Now, like I've said before, we have no idea what this Civil War will be until we find out later videos, which I will put some breaking news videos if it happens. So make sure that you are tuned in almost every single day, because I don't know when I'm going to be posting videos on this topic, but if it gets juicy, you can tell I'm dropping some bombs. So, Blaze, what do you think about this topic?
Well, honestly, so with all this Civil War happening, I'm alternately always going to have to stay with Ricegum, KSI, FaZe Clan, with FaZe Banks, because FaZe Banks, he's in the FaZe Clan, obviously, so everyone in FaZe is more than probably willing to help out FaZe Banks with the Civil War. with Elisa Violet dating FaZe Banks, she's also going to be on their side. And Jesse, he's also going to be on their side. Because in the video with KSI moving in with Ricegum and Banks and Elisa, Jesse was there. So alternatively, he's going to be there. And then with Jake Paul, Team 10, Logan Paul, KC, PewDiePie, and Tanner Fox, I think, sure, PewDiePie there, he's definitely going to be their, like, main person. He's the most popular person on YouTube, as all of us should know by now.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the most subscribers, too, which needs his popularity. I think Ricegum, KSI, FaZe Clan, Elisa, and Jesse are going to have kind of a little bit problem because PewDiePie has that big fan base also, but because KSI is, like, I believe the second most popular YouTuber, he also has a big fan base. Everyone was worried about him, so he has that giant fan base with Ricegum, all of the FaZe Clan base. So we're talking about, like, Banks' fan base, Ruggs' fan base, Adapt's fan base, Apex's, everyone, which is probably enough to beat out PewDiePie's. And then we have Elisa's fan base, and then we have Jesse's. Jake Paul, he's almost at the 9.5 mil mark, so he has a pretty big fan base. Team 10, which is, I barely know any of them, which is Nick, Tessa, Chance, basically all I know. And there's a couple more of them, which also has a big fan base, which I believe a lot of them, like at least a solid 4 or 5 of them, have 1 million subscribers. And then you have Logan Paul, which I believe is at 9 mil now, with Casey. You know how many subscribers he has, Andrew?
I'm thinking he probably might have 9.25 from when I last time checked.
So another 9 mil. PewDiePie with his 40 mil, and then Tanner, I believe, let me check real quick. Tanner he has almost 6 mil, so he's at 5 mil, which I think overall with PewDiePie's group, they definitely have more subscribers to overrule them. So in my opinion, once Jake, like, when this all, like, finally finishes, it's probably gonna ruin Jake's career with some of the Team 10 members too, because out of what they're doing, maybe everyone else on Jake's side. Because Jake, once again, he's starting to fall now because his Disney contract's done. He's basically ruining LA, which is making basically half of LA just hating him. And then you have he's getting all his popularity from his brother, from people like higher news people, which is leading, like, when they, like, are making videos about him, other people are checking out his channel, which leads to more people actually liking his content and subscribing, which I don't think is right, because he's ruining LA in total. His neighbors hate him. He said himself he feels bad for his neighbors, which I believe in one of his videos I was watching before, he said they are trying to find a new house, which is good because they may move from LA, which would be good for everyone in LA. Because LA used to be a good place. Like, Logan, he lives there. He's not destroying LA. It's all Jake Paul and is, like, making LA like a circus.
Yep.
And with all of that happening, honestly, I think more people that are subscribed to him are hating him because he's got a lot more dislikes on his videos, which I think is gonna eventually bring him down. Because say he's dabbing on his haters, what happens if they dab back? He can't have anything to do with it. So overall, with Ricegum, KSI, FaZe Clan, Elisa, Jesse versus Jake Paul, Team 10, Logan Paul, Casey, PewDiePie, and Tanner Fox, I think Ricegum, KSI, and FaZe Banks are definitely going to come out top.
I agree with that too. Now, on to our very final story is the trend on Twitter that a lot of people have been covering. It's hashtag Jake Paul is over party. Now, this went trending after he told a fan, and I quote, "You sound like you're going to blow someone up." And as you can tell, a lot of people were triggered about this, so it led to that video getting a lot of dislikes. And as you can probably tell with his fans, they all went on Twitter and they had the hashtag going. And they had this trending, and you would think Jake Paul would be fazed by this. Well, nothing is surprising about Jake Paul anymore. I mean, look at his content. Most of it's clickbait. Most of it's him being a cringy 12-year-old, 13-year-old. So, to me, nothing surprises me about Jake Paul and everything that's been going on. So, you can see Jake Paul is over being a trend, but I don't know what's it's gonna take for Jake Paul to understand that he needs to be a better human being, because like I've said in my past Jake Paul video, he's a 12-year-old stuck in a 20-year-old man's body. Now, we don't know where this is going. We don't know if Jake Paul will be doing anything. In fact, what will probably be not surprising at all is when they do move, one of the fans or one of his members will put the address to the new house, which that obviously would probably happen as soon as they move in, and a fan sees it, they're going to be saying, here's where Jake Paul lives, go take out his house. And so, it's going to be weird to see how this is going, but I honestly think with Jake Paul, if you take away Disney, which is about maybe 2 million of his subscribers, and you take away Logan Paul, Jake Paul would probably only be at like maybe 1 million if he's that lucky. But you can see Jake Paul was only famous because of Logan Paul. Team 10 is only famous because of Jake Paul, and Jake Paul is only famous because of Logan Paul, and Logan Paul is only famous because of Vine. And Vine's only famous because of the ultimate source, YouTube. So if it was not for YouTube shedding some light on these Viners, Jake Paul would not be a famous name. But because Logan Paul decided to give Jake Paul a little bit of fame, and because Jake Paul was on Disney, it did make Jake Paul the guy that he is. And now he's just a fame-hungry person. And so I have no idea where this is going, and to be honest, I don't know what Jake Paul is going to be putting out, because most of this stuff I don't even watch because it's mostly clickbait. But yeah, we'll see where this is going. Blasix, do you have anything to say about this?
Yes, so about the whole Jake Paul, Disney, and Logan Paul. So take out Disney, which he's already out of Disney, because he got, I believe, fired out of it because he's not kid-friendly enough anymore. And Logan Paul, like, you can't get mad at Logan Paul because he was trying to help out his brother, which is completely, like, right. Like, you're the bigger brother, you should be able to help him out, which he did. But the thing is, I think if he didn't help Jake Paul out, they would have done so much better, because, like I said before, Logan Paul is not the person ruining LA. It is Jake Paul. Mm-hmm. Jake Paul is making this place a full-on circus.
Yep.
No one near him. But when he does move, which I believe he will be making a new Team 10 house, and if Van does make it, I believe when I was watching the video, or clip of it, it was showing them, like, someone, like, kind of being out, like, in the kind of middle of nowhere, like, there wasn't, like, a lot of houses, maybe, like, 1 or 2, which still is going to be, like, bad for the people living around it, because eventually, if there aren't as many houses, there's going to be space to move into the houses, like, they're going to build houses next.
Yep.
Man, I guess it's Jake Paul's, like, it's not, like, the neighbors, because if they do make houses near Jake Paul, after Jake Paul moves in, I guess Jake Paul was there first, so I can see, like, Jake Paul thinking he's, like, the better person out of all of this, because he was there first, which eternally, no, it's still not nice to do that to your neighbors, because say your neighbors are just, like, a new married couple, like how you got married to this, I forget her name, I think it was, like, Erica something?
Right. You
only did that for the clickbait. You probably didn't even want to, like, completely commit to a marriage. Like, you didn't even know her for that long. You just wanted to date her and get married for views. And while I was watching other videos about Jake Paul wanted Chance and Tessa to date before it happened. So, alternately, he wanted them to marry which they probably may have had feelings for each other, but Jake Paul probably forced them to get married to keep them in T10, or he's probably going to kick them out, because Jake Paul being his self-centered self, he probably doesn't care what other people think. He just wants his popularity, fame, and all the money that's coming out of it. Sure, he's doing these fan meetups, but he did like one fan meetup, which some girl in Michigan, which, sure, Michigan and Ohio are rivals, but this girl probably only likes Ohio Cleveland because Jake Paul is her idol. But without Jake Paul, like he says, Jake Paul, like in his new song that I was looking at today, he said he was emailing his fans not to kill themselves, which I can't get wrong because maybe his fans did, but at the same time, some of his fans could be doing that just to get him to respond. So Jake Paul has like an excuse, or he may just be telling fans to do that or sending emails. So if people do ask, he has a potential proof of it. But Jake Paul definitely, his party is gonna be over. After the Civil War, his party's over. Like, sure, the fan he said that to didn't get offended, but probably everyone else that has an accent like that did get offended. So definitely after the Civil War and everything, I think he's gonna be over, left at probably around like 3 to 4 mil, if that.
Yep, and it's just weird how fame can get to someone's head just that quickly. I mean, just being on Disney, I mean, I've always wanted to be on Disney, and even if I became famous, I would know who my fans are, and I would respect them, but it's Jake Paul, and so, even if he were to go on the moon, a fan would probably figure out where he's living, and so a lot of fans would want to be where Jake Paul is, only for the one reason that I stated in the reason I hated Jake Paul, and that's because his fans are only Jake Paul's fans because they want to get famous off of him. Now, this is obviously not something new, but this is just what Hollywood has been. If you're a fan of someone and you're in their video or if you're in their movie, you're going to get a little bit of exposure, even though that exposure doesn't really do anything for you. Just, oh, you're the Jake Pauler, oh, let's hate on you. And a lot of people, like all his fans, only like him because guess what? He has 10 million subscribers, and to everyone else on YouTube that's trying to make it big, guess what, Jake Paul? No one cares. And so, basically, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself while watching this, because I have no idea when I'm going to be posting another breaking news segment. In fact, this video might not go up until Thursday, so anything could be happening before this goes out. So it's going to be weird to see what plays out with the Civil War and with Jake Paul and everything else. So we will let you guys know what happens. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section down below and tell me what you want me to cover in next time's fake news media. And until then, I'm going to see you guys later. Peace.